What's up, guys? Chemist here from Meanwhile in the Man Cave, where we take a look at all things pop culture, games, toys, or anything we think is cool. And today we are taking a look at the Todd McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman from the Arkham City video game. This is from the series that actually will build the Solomon Grundy figure once it's all done. So this is going to be the series that we're going to be doing next here. We're going to be doing Batman first and then the other characters in the line until we get to Solomon Grundy. So, as it's been with all these McFarlane figures, there's not a whole ton to look at the box here. On the side, just has the title of the figure, and on the back it shows a picture of the Solomon Grundy figure that you're going to be building at the very end, as well as a picture of the Batman that we're doing today, Catwoman, Ra's al Ghul, and the Penguin, all from the Arkham City video game, and basically the iterations from there. This one here on the surface looks pretty cool. I'm not going to waste a whole heck of a lot of time looking at the box here, so let's just pop him open and see what we've got. All right, here, let's pop him out of the box. And as it's been with all of these figures here, I'll show you over here. Basically, you got a collector's card in here and the figure stand. Not going to take those out because we have plenty of those already out. If you've seen our other videos, we've done the whole line up there that built the Processus, which what do we have there? Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern, and a few other figures from that line. Alrighty, so here he is. Just looking on the surface here, it looks like he's going to be pretty cool. If you're a veteran of our station, you'll know a few years ago we did the Hot Toys version of the same figure in the 12-inch scale. This is about half that. So when looking in the articulation with this character, this one appears to have a single elbow joint as opposed to most McFarlane figures. So you're not going to have, some of the more robust range of motion that some of them do. But I think partly because of the gauntlets that he has on his arms here. You still have the lateral movement with his shoulders, as well as the back and forth, of course. Not as much of the back because of the cape. Kind of blocks some of that, but no big deal there. Now, as far as wrist motion, not a ton of motion there. I mean, you got your twisting in there, but not a lot of other, like up and down or anything with that. I would suspect that's mainly because of the gauntlets kind of block some of that. Now, with the legs, of course, you've got your lateral motion, and you do have the double knee joint, as you do with most McFarlanes on that, for your decent range of motion there. And you've got some twisting motion with the feet, not a ton though, and some back and forth along with the toe motion. Now, it is going to be somewhat restrictive again because of the shin guards that he's got down here. And you've got his abdomen crunch, whatever you want to call it, with a little bit of twist motion, and his twist at his waist as well. Now, if we're going to talk his head itself, get your back and forth, of course, and more of a nodding motion here, so you can have him looking up or down, and that such motion. We're not going to waste any time on the other sides because it's going to be just repeated over on that side. All right, here we are with the grapple gun. Not modeled too bad. My only problem with this, it's just a solid black. Could have added some highlights or something to this, would have looked nicer. But guess we can do that ourselves. All right, let's get Batman posed out a little bit. I'm not going to focus on these legs for Solomon Grundy because we'll do that in his separate video where we build him up. All right, so this is what we've kind of gone with here. He wasn't really easy to pose, I will tell you that. Where I ran into most of the problem typically was his feet, and I don't know if it's because of this armor he has right here. It was kind of, and he has a hinge in his, there was actually a hinge that only goes really one way with his feet, so you had to kind of work that around in order to get his ankles to pose at different angles. So I would have rather those had just been on like a free ball joint or something. I don't know. I guess I'm not sure how I've had other figures that pose really easy at his feet, but this one was a little harder to do. I was able to do it, it just took a lot more effort than I would have thought. Overall, the figure is pretty cool though. It is hard to get him in a dynamic pose that looks natural, because a lot of him, there is a bit of articulation, but the problem is it just seems the articulation seems to be restrictive with him. So I basically had him kind of go into a pose where he's looking to where he's going to grapple. I could mess around with it later, maybe for a little more interesting pose. But for now, I thought this looked all right. I do like the armor appearance of the uniform. There is some texture to it here. Not as much as there may have been on some of the, like the Blackest Night figures that we did. The texture on that seemed a little bit more pronounced, but still looks good. It does look like armor. The skin tones are really nice on this. And the bat symbol stands out nicely. Utility belt looks great. If you get a chance, you can check out the Hot Toys version of this figure. Looks really good on our video. We have that on our station as well. Let's rotate him around a little bit. Take a look at the back. So, back of the cowl looks good. Now, what I like about this cape is it comes down, it's got a little bit of a twist down here, like it's blowing in the wind. That's kind of a nice little touch to it. I don't really, if you look closely, you have to get pretty close to look at it, aside from that hair there, but there's actually a seam right here that you can see. I don't know what that's about. It's not really like, I don't even think it's a seam. It almost looks, I don't know if maybe it is a seam. They may have used the top of the cape on a different character and then changed the bottom and kind of pieced it together. It's kind of weird. It's obvious when you look closely at it, but from a distance it's not bad, and if you get facing forward you're not going to see it. And it's not on the inside of the cape, which is odd. So if you look on the inside of the cape from this side over here, it's not there. That seam's not there at all. Now this cape is kind of like a rubbery material, which is nice as well. It's not just a hard plastic. But overall, I do like the figure. Posability is something I would change a little bit, but overall I really like the modeling on it. And I would change to put a little color on his grappling gun here. But I really like the suit from the Arkham games. Basically, it's very reminiscent to some of the more classic Batman suits. So I like that quite a bit. Anyway, I look forward to doing some of these other figures in this line until we get up to Solomon Grundy. Anyway, I want to thank you all for tuning in. You can come back for the next episode of Meanwhile in the Man Cave, and I'll talk to you guys later.